Hello everyone, good evening, Kevin here, and welcome back to another video about the life in Japan. In a lot of my videos, I mentioned the work culture and the work environment here in Japan, and I haven't really gotten really into it and explained what it means. For those who have never worked in Japan, it's very difficult to understand what it's like working here. So before I came to Japan, I had no idea what work was like in Japan. I just knew that people worked hard, but I had no idea what it was like until I actually came here. I'll explain this in two parts. One is to understand how they're paid, and one is to understand what the employees do for the company. Part one of this video is to explain how people get paid. If you come from a Western country, you may hear the term wage when you get paid. And if you don't know what wage is, it's an hourly payment. So for example, some jobs that pay $20 an hour, $25 an hour, $30 an hour, that's a wage. If you work 8 hours a day and if you make 20 bucks, yeah, just multiply that by 20 bucks for 8 hours and you make $160 a day. Just an example. And if you break it down for an entire month, you make X amount for a month. That's what it's like being paid through wages. If you understand that method, if you work fewer hours, you just work $20 times the hours, and that's how much you get paid. Or if you work more, $20 times X amount of hours, and that's how much you get paid. So that's wage. It's very flexible. It all depends on how much work you really put into it and how long you stay at work to actually get paid. But in Japan, they don't get paid by wages, they get paid by salary. When I'm here, I don't get paid through an hourly rate, I get paid through a salary. And that means you get paid X amount per month. So if you work few hours in a day or quit work for that day, you still get paid that X amount. Maybe less, because if you skip work, then you have to deduct that day off that month. So it's very tricky to have this huge calculation. But that's what it's like working through a salary and not through a wage. The amount of hours you put in does not equate to the amount of money you get out. It's a fixed rate. Doesn't matter how hard or how long you work. Also, all legal work in Japan requires a bank account. So, if you get paid by cash or if you work for a company that pays only by cash, they are not a legal company. Lots of people, they post on forums about transferring money back home because they get paid by cash. All those people who do ask that are not working through legal ways. Maybe they're doing some sketchy business or some side jobs, which may not technically be illegal, but of course it's not the legal legal standard of work here in Japan. Once you come to Japan, you do have to open a bank account so that money could be put into a bank account on your payday. Also, speaking of being paid, you don't get paid by check. I know in North America, maybe even Europe, once it's payday, your boss or whoever manages the payroll will give each employee their check. You can choose a direct deposit or a check, but those two options are there. In Japan, they don't have a check. They do it by direct transfer, which is why you need to have a bank account. That's the first thing you do once you come to Japan. Set up a bank account so then get money into there. People in Japan, they don't get paid every other week. I know in North America you get paid bi-weekly, but in Japan you get paid monthly, which means every month you have to budget how much you're actually spending, because the amount of money you're getting is not a continuous flow, or at least a regular flow. It's more of a staggered flow. You have to really manage your money and make sure you don't go over budget. By the time you reach the last few days, you're going to be very tight on cash. That's the tricky part. Being paid per month, it's a very hard thing to adjust, especially coming from North American work culture. So just be careful. You are getting paid per month by direct transfer through a salary, not a wage. These are the 3 important things you have to keep in mind when working in Japan and how the money works. I'll explain in a later video what the work culture is like knowing these 3 things. So I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.